Alicia Cunha, thank you.
Now to the latest on the brutal murderers in a Washington, D.C. mansion. Documents released in the quadruple murder indicate that the suspect or suspects forced their way into the home. Police originally said there were no signs of a break-in. Authorities also believe the cell phones of the victims were stolen. Savos Savelopoulos and his wife and their 10-year-old son, along with a housekeeper, were held hostage and later killed inside their home. Crews found their bodies as they were battling a fire in that mansion. Joining us now, Steve Rogers, retired lieutenant detective for the Nutley, New Jersey Police Department. Welcome, sir. Great to have you here today.
Thank you very much.
So what do you make of the new findings, or at least the fact that they're releasing information now that there was a forced entry as opposed to what they thought before?
There's a possibility they missed something very critical, and that is the footprint that you had just shown on your to your viewers. It's also possible that the suspects, and we believed from the beginning there were multiple suspects, cleaned the evidence out. They had a lot of time to clean a lot of evidence out of there, and they missed that footprint. So what the police will do now is they'll do a forensic check on that footprint, do some comparisons with footwear in the house, and then they'll take it from there.
How could they have missed that footprint, the boot print?
It's difficult to explain that, other than this, that maybe they knew it was there all along. They did take some samples from there, and now they're waiting for some information to come back.
And those cell phones are missing now still.
Cell phones are missing. This, by the way, the collection of evidence now is going to expand this investigation. This is physical evidence they did not have a few weeks ago. So a lot is going to be expanded now.
And in terms of the vehicle itself, you have some new theories about why they didn't really search the vehicle at length right in the beginning.
Well, there's always the question of preservation of evidence. They certainly didn't want any evidence contaminated. I believe that they were going to make sure expert forensic teams were going to come in and do what they do best. You're talking about fingerprints,
right,
fibers, hair strands, all kinds of things go into these types of investigations.
But it just seems like it's taking longer. It's almost as though, oh, by the way, we find a boot print. Oh, yeah, we're realizing the cell phones are missing. It just seems that it's happening in a haphazard way. I don't know. You're the expert when it comes to detective work.
It's not. In fact, I can remember doing a lot of detective work. People would be frustrated. You know, what's going on here? They're doing a very meticulous investigation, and the one thing an investigator wants to be sure of, that the investigation is not compromised. One word that's a wrong word, a little information that could be given out that looks small to the people could be big to the police and the suspects. They just don't want the investigation compromised.
What surprised you the most so far as this investigation has progressed?
Well, what surprised me most is that they did not immediately come out and say there were multiple suspects. I mean, I've been involved in law enforcement 38 years, and it certainly appeared to me from the beginning there had to be multiple suspects in this.
They did release the fact that there was blood matching the shoe of the suspect who's now in custody.
Right, and you have the DNA on the piece of this. But the question now is, who and how many were involved in this?
Particularly when you're talking about the cash transaction.
Well,
and the fact, you know, that money was involved and the assistants delivering it, you know, the whole bit.
And why just $40,000? There's a lot of loose ends that have to be tightened up. But the key is go after more suspects. And that's what they want to do. And that's why they're taking their time. They want to get everyone who was involved in this, and they will get caught.
Well, you've covered a lot of crimes, and you know your business. So we'll be waiting and watching for the evidence as it comes forward, as it's revealed to all of us. Thank you, sir.
Thank
Good
you
to see
very
you.
much. Likewise.
John?